Orange has genetically altered them, and you're getting massively deformed babies. And I remember watching a program years ago where in Hanoi, North Vietnam, they started collecting the embryos or the babies that were born, and embryos of aborted ones, you know, self-aborted or whatever. And you're talking about the most grotesque distortions of bodies you've ever seen in a baby. And it was all because of the chemicals. And then they think they can inoculate a baby with a multiple jab chemicals, and it's going to have no effect on that baby. It was actually the genetic code of the soldiers that was altered through the spray, which then altered the seed, the sperm, and then created genetic baby. There's like a line of links from chemicals. So,
well, if you think when you poison a baby through vaccination,
yeah,
and I'm not saying anything bad here, this is a fact.
Yeah.
They have to put an adjuvant in, which has to be a toxin to create a response.
Yeah.
Now, you would think this is where their total misunderstanding of illness comes in. The body then has to rid that. They don't question how the body's going to get rid of that.
Yeah.
The body has to rid themselves of that. So if a week later, if a day later, a week later, a month later, every baby is different. The body gets the energy to say, right, I'm going to flush this out of my system.
Yeah.
So the baby gets a fever. Yeah, comes up hot. It gets a temperature of 39, 40, 41. What that's doing is burning all the rubbish out of its system. Opens the pores up.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Most people will panic, and the recommendations they'll get is give Calpol and lower the fever.
It's like you always feel
Madness.
brilliant after an illness, don't you?
Because you've cleansed.
Because you've cleansed your body.
So you lower the... So you inject a child with poisons. Maybe a month later, the child has a fever, which may not be, but it could be a reaction, a cleansing reaction to them poisons.
And you'll never know.
And you suppress it. By suppressing it, all you're doing is pushing it further in.
Yeah.
And then you get diseases that are related to more in-depth poisoning of the system. And there's you can Trevor Gunn charts it from an acute illness all the way to MS, autism, cancer. You know, a real internalized illness. And it's people have got to learn, not just the medical profession. The medical profession won't learn because it's not structured to learn. People need to learn to allow themselves to be ill.
Yeah.
Especially children. If children are allowed to be ill from babies till they develop physically, they'll virtually be almost indestructible.
The thing is, we're not allowed to be ill anymore because you're not allowed to be sick off work.
Yeah. Or school.
And this is one of the things now. If you have, if as a society we have children that are naturally poorly, who the fuck's going to look after them? Because the parents aren't allowed to leave work. The economic system of this country is that those parents have got to work. It's gone from one parent working, one parent caring for the children. Multiple children, you know, if you go back. Now we only have one or two children, like the birth rate's falling. But the economic system of this country, the GDP, demands that both parents work. So there's no time for you to go and look after your children. So you've got the medical profession by the back door saying that we will keep children healthy through these inoculations, so you don't have to take time off work. And then parents think, I have to inoculate my child. I've got to keep my child healthy.
But they've been given what I would say is unscientific truth, that exterior germs attack the body and make them ill.
Yeah.
No proof for that.
Yeah.
But what it does, there's always the money. Always follow the money. Illness is a business. Health isn't a business.
Oh, yeah.
But the biggest thing about germ theory is we are told we have no power over our own health.
Which is?
We're told our environment and the world has evolved to make us ill.
Yeah.
We wouldn't, if microbes made us ill, we wouldn't be around. There'd be no human race.
It's like...
but fear equals control.
Yeah.
It's about the money on the surface level. Ultimately, it's about control. Look what's happening in China now. If you keep people afraid of their environment, This is a pure Agenda 21 experiment going on in China.
Well, China now.
How can you control millions of people?
China now.
Fear.
I was watching something on the news where somebody's walking through the street and they haven't got a mask on or something, and they were pounced on by the police and health workers, and they were sprayed with disinfectant. They were held on the floor while they were sprayed with disinfectant. Now, you've got the American government, European governments, our government and other governments. They're all looking and wishing, I wish I had the power of the Chinese government. But if this scare keeps on, like we have this virus, coronavirus, we've had the SARS, over the next 20 years we'll have a few more. People will demand that our government has the power of the Chinese government to imprison people in their houses.
And that's the game.
And that's the game.
They don't want to push their fascism on us because it'll be too much. They want us to demand fascism.
Yeah.
And you do that by this non-existent enemy called the virus.
Yeah.
That isn't out. There's no proof it's outside making people ill. You look at the conditions where this outbreak's happened. Heavily polluted area. Somebody says they've recently switched on 5G, but you've got a polluted area. You've got people living under stressful conditions. People are just getting ill. A flu would be a normal thing to happen.
Yeah.
People, you know how many thousands of people allegedly die of the flu every year?
Yeah.
Why would this be different? Just because they've made it different in our minds. The only thing going around the world making people ill is fear and hysteria. That's all. And that fear and hysteria, like you said, will make us demand a dictatorship.
And it's not as bad as what they say it is. It's like in China, if you work out the percentage of people who've died through this coronavirus.
Well, if you look at the figures for how many people the medical professional kill in America every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, legally.
Yeah.
I've seen studies between 300,000 and 700,000 people a year are killed by the medical profession.
By accidents, by bad practice?
No, by normal practice. So you've got infections picked up in hospital.
Oh,
you've got
drugs
side effects. You've got drugs that they've been on for too long a period, prescribed the wrong drug.
Yeah.
You know, you can look at figures, and then this doesn't even take into vaccination at all.
Yeah.
So
this is just the medical profession.
Nobody knows.
Work.
Yeah, nobody knows how many people the medical professional kill every year.
Yeah.
But you can say a conservative estimate in America would be 300,000. Where's the hysteria about 300,000 people being killed?
It's like Stoke when they were killing all the people in the hospital. There was recently the drama on TV. Stoke Hospital, a single hospital, was killing people through neglect. So,
well, the UK column, if anyone's watched on, they do a lot of work on this.
Oh yeah, UK column. We'll put a link to them as well.
They do a lot of work on.
UK column is an organisation. It's got nothing to do with UKIP or anybody like that. This is a freedom party.
It's just zero to do with politics.
Yeah.
It's just getting information out.
You've actually stayed out of politics, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're not involved in politics.
They report on the political situation.
Yeah.
But they believe the natural right of a human being is his own sovereignty.
Yeah.
And any political system should be built on human sovereignty.
And your body is sovereign.
Yeah. So you build politics on top of that. There's no point in having political discussions now because our individual sovereignty is gone.
Yeah.
So you build politics on top of that, and that's that they just, diagnose the political situation, how things are going, etc.
Yeah.
And if anyone's ever read their Animal Farm,
fucking hell, aye.
And the old horse when he had his day sent to the knacker's yard, and this is what.
And the pigs were in charge.
This is what is happening with the old people now. People can think euthanasia is a good thing for certain people.
Yeah, young people will see us off.
But eventually, it'll be spread out to anyone who's just a worthless piece of meat. Eventually, so it'll be introduced as a positive thing for people who are suffering. But eventually, anybody who's past the working age, like the big horse in the Animal Farm, they'll be off to the knacker's yard.
Yeah.
So it'll be a promotion. They always start. They get the feet in the door, and then they push it further.
See, people don't think 100 years in the future, do they?
No. It's not what they're doing now with euthanasia. It's where it's going to go.
In 100 years' time.
Yeah. And that'll be you're off to the knacker's yard when you're 70 or whatever.
thought came into my head a few minutes ago when you were talking about germs and like they're classed as the enemy. In the first film, War of the Worlds, with Gene Berry, you know, the old Hollywood film, before Tom Cruise, the Martians are like knocking fuck out of us, like they're conquering the earth, spreading like the plague and everything, they're killing the people, eating the people, blah blah. All of a sudden the machines slow down and they fall to earth, you know, they come down and you see the bit where the arm comes out in the old, to me the old film is as good as the Tom Cruise one. And then there's a narrative that explains the Martians conquered the earth, but the smallest thing on the planet, the germ, conquered the Martians. And they were basically saying that germs are our friend. Yeah. They're protecting the planet, they're protecting us.
They're only, if you look at the universe,
yeah,
if waste is never recycled, eventually, it might take a long time, you'll have a universe full of crap.
Yeah.
The role of bacteria, if you've got a composter in your garden,
yeah,
you scrape your waste in, there's nothing in your composter, you put your waste in. After a few days, you'll see a few worms. Without seeing it properly, there'll be bacteria in there.
Yeah.
You fill it up, you rotate your composter. 6 months later, or maybe, if depending on the weather, maybe 8 months later, you go back, there's not a worm in sight. All you get is clean, healthy soil.
Yeah.
And then it's ready to go in your garden. And all them bacteria and worms and everything in there, I'll go and find some more waste. Bacteria and these things are the cleansers of the universe. They're the cleansers of our gut. How do you think we put food in, it has to be cleansed, got rid of.
Broken down.
Yeah, broken down. And that's what bacteria do. They break down
your food.
Organic waste.
Yeah.
The whole planet would be covered in waste. The dung beetle is one of the most important animals on the African savannah.
Yeah.
Keeps it clean. Bacteria are not our enemy. And they say, oh, it's this bacteria or that. You know, if you've got a bacteria, they say, that causes this. Well, no, it's there because your terrain. It's only there to feed. If you've created the bad terrain, because of your diet, your lifestyle, your stress, that microbe, which is already there, they're all in balance, but it'll proliferate.
Yeah.
So it'll expand the population of that microbe, not because the microbe's killing you, simply because
you're feeding it.
Yeah, your own personal environment has allowed that to proliferate. So the clue is to sort out the environment. You can kill the microbe with antibiotics, but it doesn't change the problem.
Yeah.
And that's why you can get repeated infections if you don't allow. There's this fear of allowing people to be ill.
Yeah.
Because
you've got to look after your body, haven't you?
Yeah.
There's a prayer I've got, let it keep my temple free. And you've got to picture your body as a temple. And what would you do with a temple? You'd keep it clean.
Well, it's your vehicle to have an experience in this life.
To move through life.
If you don't put your car in for an oil change and an MOT and that, it'll just eventually break down on the motorway.
Right, we're going to finish.
You look after it.
We're going to finish, Rob. Is there one thing you want to say?
If people can read the book, Trevor Gunn, The Science on Health and Healing, and get to know their own personal power over their own health, stop being a victim of, oh, I've caught this and I've caught that. Be honest with yourself and have a look at your own life and say, what are the stresses in my life? Do I need that kebab at 12 o'clock at night every night?
Yeah.
Do I need them 10 pints, or do I need that bottle of whiskey? Or do I need to work with this tosser that I'm working with every day?
Stressing me out.
Stress, yeah. And what's this? Is it the serenity prayer? May God give me the strength to change the things I can and accept the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah.
That gets stress out. If you get stress out of your life, let the body do what it knows best. It doesn't need help. Get stress out of our lives, live a simple diet, and just let nature do the rest.
What have I talked about in my video? Stress. You've seen me ill. Stress. And I am now getting better through de-stressing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing to do, isn't it? Take the stress out of your life.
Illness is just stress on the business, and there's many factors in stress.
Yeah.
But the most important one is up there.
Change what you can.
Yeah.
And what you can't change.
Yeah. If you're going to work with an idiot tomorrow, I'm not saying you do.
Yeah. Or live with an idiot.
Yeah, if you have to work with an idiot, change your attitude to that idiot and embrace him.
Yeah.
And have a laugh at him.
Yeah, laugh at him.
Yeah, laughter's the best medicine.
Right. So this is Rob. Winning show. Take care.